All right, we are live on YouTube and also simulcasting live on Facebook and D Live. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join me here tonight. It is Monday, July 26, 2021, the day that this live stream is being done. But if you're here watching the replay, stick around. There's always lots of great replay value for my live streams. But before we get to all of that, let me make sure that everything is running smoothly, okay? Let me make sure everything's running smoothly. And make sure that the YouTube notification has gone out. And it absolutely has. The back end of YouTube seems to be rolling smoothly. The back end of Facebook seems to be rolling smoothly as well. And D Live seems to be rolling smoothly. I've got my eyes on all three platforms, so if you nasty trolls feel like coming in and taking a swing at me, then hey, have at it. And I've got mods everywhere. They call it like the eye in the sky, right? They always say that a helicopter is the best way to find people because when you're up above, you can see everything and there's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide, right? Let me check out Facebook and make sure that Facebook is running smoothly on the front end. We're at the top of the news feed. Facebook is running smoothly. And it is. Let's also check out D Live. D Live. Great platform, by the way. Great platform. Let's also check out D Live. D Live. Great platform, by the way. Yes. Great platform. Yes, D Live. Yes. Great platform, by the way. All right. And before we get before we get further into it, let me also take this moment to pay special props to the sponsor of my brand. That's none other than the great Troy Brewer. He is the CEO, founder, and owner of the Discover Community Network. Troy is a branding and marketing genius, and there's no one I trust more when it comes to branding and marketing than Troy. I've known him personally for over 10 years. We've been working very closely for those 10 years. And he's been in business for over 15 years. So if you'd like more information about branding and marketing, if you're a YouTuber and you need some help, you need a little kick to jumpstart your YouTube channel, he can help you promote that everywhere. He's got so many connections and great contacts. Also, he has great products and services for businesses and consumers from some of the most trusted professionals in their industry. So if you want to find out more about the Discover Community Network, just go to the description about a third of the way down on the YouTube side of things and click on discovercommunitynetwork.com. If you're on D Live, just type in Discover Community Network into Google and you'll find everything there. I mean, you can do that on any platform, but I make it easier on the platforms that allow me to put a description section, right? On D Live, it's pretty simple. You just do a live stream, put a title, and that's all you can do there. And then you have the chat. If you're on Facebook, go to the top of the search bar and type in Discover Community Network, and you'll find their business page there. And from there, you can find out how to connect with Troy by phone or by email, same with the website. Or if you would like for me to personally introduce you to Troy by email and help you arrange a free phone consultation, which you can have me join you if that makes you feel more comfortable. We can do a three-way call, whatever works for you. Please email me at coacheli@coach.eliasmelas.com. That's Coach Eli at coach.eliasmelas.com. That email is in the description section of the YouTube live stream and the Facebook live stream. And if you're on D Live, just type out Coach Eli at coach.eliasmelas.com or come over to YouTube on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/live Coach Eli, and you can see it there. All right. Once again, Troy, thank you very much for your continued sponsorship and patronage of this brand. Much love to you from Coach Eli and the Coach Eli clan. All right. All right, welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome to the show. Glad that you're all here today. Queen Helen Casey's in the house on the YouTube side of things. The Queen is here. She says, you're good. Information Man Show, peace and respect. Information Man Show, I never got any emails from you. Did you decide to not email me? Or did you forget? Or did you try to email me that didn't go through? Just kind of wondering, bro. How's it going tonight, man? Thank you so much for being here. I will be periodically checking in on D Live and Facebook. So if anyone comments there, or if anyone is a little bit, let's just be polite and say out of line, then we'll take care of you in different ways. But once again, I'm going to be primarily focusing on the YouTube chat. If you missed my live stream earlier on YouTube, it is publicly available. I did a live stream where I explained some other changes I just made on the fly after the stream I did yesterday. I'll briefly explain that here again at the beginning of this show before we get into it. And basically, I decided after the stream I did yesterday, which was only publicly available on D Live, available as a replay as a members only option on my YouTube channel, and only available as a replay on Facebook to my friends. I realized after I did that stream last night, and I had a couple guests on. I had RJ Sandifer, blind YouTuber RJ Sandifer. I also had Rich Girl, who's a content creator from Canada that I've known for over three and a half years, stemming back to my former channel. There was so much great information that was shared on that show, and not a lot of people got to see it because the only place it was publicly available was on D Live. And the only way to view the replay is to become a channel member on my YouTube channel and or be a Facebook friend of mine on Facebook. And I felt it really wasn't fair for those guys to invest the time to, share their thoughts, their amazing thoughts on that show. So I wanted to bring back the public live streams. And what I will be also doing more than likely sometime this week is splicing up that live stream that those two gentlemen were on, and making it a pre-recorded video and putting it out on YouTube. The streams that I've done as members only will stay members only. But right now, I decided to come back and not only publicly stream on YouTube, but also publicly stream on Facebook, and continue to publicly stream live on D Live. What I'm trying to do is get my content out there to as many people as possible, because I want to help as many people as possible get the best possible grip on their lives, so that way they can accomplish whatever it is that their hearts desire. I just wanted to diversify. And I've been meaning to get on D Live for quite some time. Some of the other moderators here on my YouTube channel have been trying to get me on there. Plus, I'm also going to be collaborating with some people that are on D Live, so I wanted to get my presence going there. And that's why I decided to do it. My former stream, my stream from earlier today, the Walking with Purpose stream, was titled Trial and Error, right? And sometimes, folks, you're going to try things and, they're not going to work as well as you thought they would, or maybe they are working well, but you need to tweak them up a little bit. I basically shifted things around and added D Live to, the Coach Eli television network here, where I'm going to simulcast on. And that's what I got out of it. That's what came out of it, which is what I'm trying to say. So, in essence, we're going to run it this way for the time being, and we're going to see what happens down the road. And if you missed that stream from earlier, check it out. I shared some great information. A good friend of mine that goes with the name of American Dream on YouTube. His name is Mike. He came on and he shared some things he's been going through, and I was helping him out with that. So If you want to watch a great stream later tonight and, you're looking for something to view, check that out and you'll hear a lot more on that stream. All right. Let's see. Information Man Show. Queen says, hello, Information Man Show. Information Man Show says, no, I got them now, so I will be in contact with you. I'll send you email back very soon. Well, thank you very much, Information Man Show. I'm following you on D Live now. Well, thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for that. Let me check out Facebook. Nothing happening over on Facebook. Let me do something here real quick. Let me open up a different page here on D Live so I can actually see the information here. Okay, we have one person viewing over on D Live. That's awesome. All right, thank you so much, Information Man Show. He says yes. All right, folks. So here's how tonight's show is going to go. I'm going to be talking about a topic that is very near and dear to my heart. It's a very, very important topic. And I'm going to share my thoughts here. My thoughts on this topic are probably only going to take about 30 to 45 minutes. I've also sent the StreamYard link to the moderators behind the scenes through the private moderator chat on Google Hangouts that we have going on. And if any of you want to pop on, just feel free to pop on the StreamYard. I'll hear the little beep, the bloop, bloop, or whatever that sound is, right? And then I'll bring you on, and we'll go up to 2 hours. If no one decides to come on, then I'm just going to, share my thoughts here for the next 30 to 45 minutes and go back and forth with the chat and then call it a night. And then come back tomorrow with some other great streams and probably some pre-recorded videos and stuff like that. So the topic of the show is don't just talk about it, be about it. Be congruent with words and actions. One more time, don't just talk about it, be about it. Be congruent with words and actions. Now, folks, if you don't know what the meaning of congruent is, let me just give you the definition on Google. And let's hear Google pronounce it. Huh? How come I couldn't hear that? Why did that not go through? Typically, it'll go through, but it did not go through. Okay, that's okay. No worries. Congruent means in agreement or harmony. In other words, in sync, right? So when somebody says that your actions are not congruent with your words, what they're saying is that you're telling people one thing and doing something else. And most of the time, people do that because they want to manipulate people to lead them to believe they're going to get something, but they're trying to get something else out of them through manipulation. And one of the best ways, folks, to prevent being manipulated is to not only listen to what people say, but look at what they do after they say what they said, right? You want to align, people's actions with their words. And if they don't align, then you have a serious issue. Then you're pretty much dealing with somebody that, is not a reputable person, is not a trustworthy person. And my advice to you is to withdraw from people like that. Don't just talk about it, be about it. Okay? Now, for the last many years, I've helped many people, primarily on the YouTube platform. And on the YouTube platform, there are a lot of issues. There are a lot of drama and hate groups. There are a lot of different types of people with different types of personalities, backgrounds, ethnicities, also known as race. There are men and women, different sexual orientations. There are different types of people. We live in a very diverse world, and YouTube is a very diverse platform because basically, the entire world's pretty much on YouTube. People love YouTube, okay? And so, you're gonna get certain people that are going to react in a certain way, just to try to crawl under your skin, to try to one-up you, to try to, kick you down so they can feel better about themselves. Typically, it's people that do this are projecting their insecurities, their unhappiness, right? And there's a right and a wrong way to handle it, right? Now, I've tried to help many people, including people on my moderator crew. And I'm going to use one of my moderators for example purposes because he's been coming to me for many months. I've spoken with him very, very, Queen, I just got your message behind the scenes. Am I going to be blocked again? That's what I meant to put. I don't know what you're talking about, Queen. I don't know how you would be blocked on StreamYard. You're not blocked on StreamYard, Queen. I mean, let me see if I can even see I have my block list here, Queen, and you're not on it. There are 5 trolls blocked on my StreamYard, and I don't give out the link anymore. I only do it privately, so they can't even come on if they wanted to. But I'm going to reinstate guests must authenticate with a YouTube or Facebook account. So my good friend, who's a moderator here as well, Lewis, has had a problem dealing with trolls on his channel. And there have been many times where I've helped him get rid of the trolls. He's had people hijack his channel. Basically pretend to be somebody they're not. People clone accounts, and because you can't, go to the channel directly from the chat anymore because YouTube removed that last year. Some creators are moderating people that are cloned accounts, and what I've told Lewis and other people is to no longer moderate people from the chat. You want to moderate them from the back end of YouTube. You want to talk with them behind the scenes, go to their channel on YouTube directly, take the channel link, and add the channel as a moderator through the back end of YouTube Studio, right? So there have been many, 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 many times that I've mentioned that to Lewis and many other people, right? And most people understand that after a certain amount of time. And some people, it takes them a bit longer to understand things. And that's not the only thing that I'm trying to help Lewis understand. Lewis, for example purposes, I have lots of love for you, man. I'm just using you for example purposes. But it's the same thing every day with you, Lewis. And until I give you a little tough love because I love you like a brother, and you actually understand this, bro, you're not going to be able to move forward, right? And if we have to continue to backtrack to try to help you with something each and every day, it's also going to slow us down as a group, Lewis, the people that are working together, to get ahead together, right? We want to solve the issues and we want to move forward, right? So I'm going to read this message, and it's something I can read publicly. It's not that big of a deal. Lewis wrote me a message at 1:42 p.m. Pacific time earlier today. He said, "Hi, this morning I went live. Everything was great until a good friend of mine came up on my panel and was having a good time until the trolls came in. So why did the trolls get to you? Why couldn't you continue having a good time and just ban the trolls or have your mods ban the trolls, Lewis? or you ban the trolls, get a good laugh at their expense and move on, or don't even address them at all. Do you expect people to not troll you? Do you expect the court of public opinion to not say anything about your content? Do you not understand, Lewis, and everyone else, that YouTube and social media platforms are public platforms? And you have to have somewhat of a tolerance for this, right? Or why be out here, right? They started using the N word and the R word towards him. We know what the N word and R words are, and they're very derogatory. I don't like them. Yes, have I, said those words before in the past out of being triggered? Yes. And do I feel regret for that? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I don't have any hate towards anyone. I don't discriminate towards any race or, men or women, or based on, sexual orientation and stuff like that. I'm a very diverse person. But yes, I get what you're saying there, Lewis. I wish that YouTube here's the thing that really lit the match to talk about this, Lewis, as a perfect example for this topic. Okay, you wrote to me, I wish that YouTube would do something about the trolls. Let me repeat that one more time. I wish that YouTube would do something about the trolls. Well, Lewis, here's the thing. What about you do something about the trolls? What about you ignore the trolls? Why do you feel that YouTube should do something about the trolls? And in actuality, Lewis, YouTube has done something about the trolls. They give you tools to ban them, right? They give you tools to ban them. You can add block words to the back end of your YouTube channel. You can install Nightbot and have Nightbot help you moderate. There are so many options that YouTube and third-party providers have given you. And instead of choosing to use them or ignoring the trolls or just banning them and ignoring them, you continue to feed into them. You continue to let them derail your shows, right? And you continue driving yourself crazy and other people crazy. You're not driving me crazy, Lewis. I'm using this for example purposes because I'm here to help people. I've been through all of this. I had to learn how to deal with this myself. And now, because I'm in a much better place and I understand how to deal with social media trolls and haters and all that, I want to help you folks too. But I've been like a broken record. I've said it time and time and time again, not only to you, Lewis, but to many other people. Why let the trolls get to you? How about you do this, Lewis, or anyone else? If you can't handle the trolls, or don't trust your moderators to mod your chat, right? Then why not turn off the chat of your live streams and just run live streams without a chat? Why have the chat there, right? But if you don't have the chat, then what's the purpose of your live stream? You can't engage your audience. Why not just do pre-recorded videos, right? You see, folks, there's a simple solution to all of this. There's a simple solution to all of this. And it's to dig deep within yourself and learn to ignore things and learn to not allow things to bother you. But instead of doing that, what most people do is they blame YouTube. YouTube. You took down my content. YouTube. You should do something more about the trolls. YouTube, you should do something more about all this, right? Well, why can't us people as individuals do more or do our part, right? Oh, we've got RJ Sandifer. We've got RJ Sandifer in the house. RJ, I'm going to bring you on in just a couple of minutes, brother. And then I'm going to step away and get a little bit of coffee and stuff like that. I'm going to give you the floor for 5 to 10 minutes, RJ. So you can catch people up what's going on your end, and you can also, share your thoughts about tonight's topic. Don't just talk about it, be about it. Be congruent with words and actions. We are at 24, almost 25 minutes right now. Just turned to 25 minutes. Well, why don't we just do this? Let's just switch on over, and let's get to the StreamYard and bring on RJ Sandifer. I'm going to switch over to the split screen here. And I'm going to welcome to the show Mr. R.J. Sandifer. Give you a big round of applause. R.J. Sandifer.
Thank you. Thank you.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. I still haven't heard from. I'm hoping to have Rich, the guy you had on last night, on my channel for an interview this Friday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern, but I have not heard back from him yet, but I will keep you guys updated. Tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. there will be a stream on my channel, and Eli's going to be on there. Hopefully some of the other people will be on there, like Adelaide and Lewis Fuller, Queen Helen Casey, a lot of the other famous people you've come to know. And I like your topic tonight. Don't just talk about it, be about it. Be congruent with your words.
Do me a favor
Yes,
here. Before you share your thoughts, you mind if I step away and take this chance to refill my coffee and stuff? I'll be back in 5 to 7 minutes. You mind sharing your thoughts about the topic and what I've said so far and anything else? And then I'll be back in a few. I'm going to give you the entire floor. I trust you, RJ.
Yes, sir.
Is that all good, RJ?
That's all good, Eli.
All right. You're going to full screen. I'll be back in 5 to 7 or 8 minutes, RJ. Take it away, brother.
All right. It's really awesome that Eli chose this topic tonight, because we have been talking about it. I would say for a couple of days now. Eli and I and some others, and I really think that it goes without saying, if you're not congruent with your words, people aren't going to trust you. And actually, no, I actually did a live stream on that on my channel, come to think of it. Look, if you're not congruent with your words, people aren't going to trust you, and people aren't going to have faith in you. It goes along with, hypocrisy. If you're telling someone not to do something, but they see you do it, what are you showing them? That you can't be trusted. You're not congruent with your words. And I got to tell you this. For 3 years, I would be with Eli, and then people would, tell me, oh, he's bad. But then finally, it clicked, and I realized who I was hanging around with was making me into a bad person. Was making me into a not so nice person. Calling people cuckold and cuck and everything like that. But at the same time, I was, talking about we're here to praise the Lord. I wasn't being congruent with my words. What right did I have calling Eli cuck or cuckold, but yet at the same time, singing, we're here to praise the Lord. It's not being congruent with your words. And now I know some of you know that Eli has the word cuck blocked on his blocked words list, but I'm using this for example purposes. Because, back then, when I would get mad and get all triggered and everything, I would get all mad and I would say, cuckold! And everything like that. And everybody got a kick out of it because they thought, oh, RJ the Demon Preacher, RJ the Demon Preacher. But looking back on that now, was that all really worth it? No, it wasn't. Because I was not only, I thought I was going after Eli, but in reality, I was hurting myself. I was hurting myself because I knew better than that, and I knew that that was not me, but I did it to please people. I did it because people enjoyed it. I thought I was doing it, for entertainment, even though I knew better, even though I knew that it was wrong to be going around calling people cuckold and cuck and all this. I knew it was wrong. But, with people egging me on, oh, do Demon Preacher, do Demon Preacher, do Demon Preacher. And you know what? Now that I've thought about it, that I've really had time to reflect, it's like, hi, Eli. It's like, my gosh,
Hi.
I was not being RJ. I was not being me. And, now, like when Eli, plays me saying, cuckold! And all that, it's like, who was that guy? I mean, I knew it was me, but in the back of my head, there's that voice that says, who's that guy?
Right.
That's not the RJ I know.
Right.
And that's what was going on. I was not being congruent with my words.
So let me ask you this, RJ. Well, I'm back, by the way. Thank you for welcoming me back on my own show. That's great. Thank you so much, RJ. Let me ask you this, RJ. Like, what have you been trying to accomplish, for example, on the YouTube platform? And what do you think you learned from your past experiences, and what puts you in a better place now? I ask that because in the chat right now we have Queen Helen Casey. She's one of the most loyal people that I've met. She's a wonderful person, and I know
Yeah.
she doesn't have a whole lot of trust for you. This is what happens when people
Oh
are not
yeah.
congruent with their words many times.
Oh
People
yeah.
lose trust and faith, in you.
In
Um,
people.
yeah. So share your thoughts about that, and what, if anything, can be done to rectify that relationship with Queen Helen Casey, because it's a very important one.
Oh yeah. Well, I think you know me participating in the chats, in the private chats, and really getting to know her and know what she's about, um, is helping me a little bit understand that she's not this, banhammer crazy person that the other side tried to make her out to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I do apologize for that, Queen. I know you meant well, and I know you mean well. Now, that I'm seeing what's happening with Eli's chat. It's not he's not as trolled as much. Is well, and it's not just Queen Helen Casey. It's also you have Ref Magos, you have
Mm-hmm.
other people. Um, all I wanted to do was go on YouTube and be, and just, you know, try to be cool with people. Try to be inspiration to people. And now it's like, now I'm doing what I want to do. I'm doing, you're going to be on my show again tomorrow night. I'm hoping Rich will come onto my show Friday night so I can interview him. And it's just like my friend Avery at ASMR from the Philippines,
Mm-hmm.
and she's followed me since I had my very first channel, and I followed her, and we're really close. And um, I want to say this right now because I know that she could listen to this, and I don't, you know, I don't know if she, she probably knows who you are. She hasn't said, but I wanted to interview her a couple months back, and she wrote me on her because I left her a comment on one of her YouTube videos, and she replied to me and she said, "RJ, I don't think you should. I don't think I want to be interviewed by you because you're
Why?
still mixed up in the drama."
Mm-hmm. And you were at that time.
Yeah, I was.
Mm-hmm.
I was with that other side, and I think now I'm having to prove myself to a lot of people, not just to you, but to her. I mean, she is like one of my most loyal friends on and off YouTube, and
Yeah.
that hurt. Like, have you ever had someone tell you, just drop a truth bomb on you, and it feels like you just get punched in the gut, like the wind just gets knocked out of you? Thank you for that.
RJ, like this?
Yep.
Yes, RJ, let me jump in here for a second. I absolutely have. And let me just say one thing real quick that I want you to
Hmm.
understand. You don't have to prove anything to me. I'm the type of person that has a forgiving heart and a forgiving nature.
Well,
And,
no. Well, no, 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 no. I mean, like, earn the trust. That's what I mean.
but you
Is
have. If
yeah.
you let me finish, if you let me please finish, even
Okay,
though
I
you
understand.
can say whatever you want on my show, I'm trying to praise you. Not the
Okay.
Lord. I love the Lord too. I love praising the Lord too, RJ. No disrespect. I'm just trying to be a little funny there.
I
But
understand what you're saying, bro.
what I'm saying, brother, is this: is that you you proved to me you were ready when you came to me about a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks ago,
Uh huh.
and you told me you're done, and you told me another creator that we're trying to work something out with, even though I haven't heard from her in a while, brutally Lauren. She's done, and I know how tight you folks are, and you've been consistent this time for almost 2 weeks, longer than ever before, and that's another thing.
No.
The more and more you go each and every day, being consistent and not being sucked back into the way things were, the more I respect you. But as far as when it comes to trust, RJ, I've never thought you were a bad person. I never thought that you weren't a trustworthy person. I knew what people were doing to you, and they took advantage of, and I hate to say weakness, RJ, but they did. These people take advantage of
Mm-hmm.
weaknesses. An example, um, you know, um, you are a blind YouTuber. You are very good at what you do, and your capabilities are amazing. But there are certain things you can't do because of your blindness, right? And
Right.
also, you have Asperger's, which is a form of
Yeah.
autism, which people with autism have a difficult time understanding certain social cues, and that might have affected, part of the situation. So, in essence,
Mm-hmm.
it would be difficult for me to hold something against you that was somewhat, at least somewhat, out of your control, and you were taking
Mm-hmm.
advantage in ways of your disabilities. Now, I know you don't use your
Well,
disabilities as a crutch, but go ahead, go
mhm.
ahead. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, yeah. Well, and the thing is too, sometimes even my mom would tell me when she was alive, she would say, "RJ, do you really want to do this? Do you really?" She's like, "I don't think this is a good idea." And then um, it would turn out that it wasn't, and she would say, "Okay, RJ, now what did you learn from this?" And I really think that um, that was my mom, coming to me and saying, "Hey RJ, that Eli man's trying to help you, and you're allowing these people to suck you in. Do you think this is something you need to be doing?" And that's what my mom would tell me. My mom would say, that man Eli's trying to help you, and you're letting these people suck you in
Mm-hmm.
and mistreat you. And sometimes, and my mom, I remember when, and I usually don't talk about this, but it bears to talk about. And this is part of the reason why I'm, still like just now getting back into the dating scene, because when all that stuff went down in high school, and I know that was a long time ago
Mm-hmm.
with Myra, and I don't blame her. I don't blame her at all because of her situation at that time. She wanted to get away from her stepfather because I found out later he was very abusive to her mother, and she didn't want to be a part of that. And I remember the last conversation that I ever had with Myra after she went with her um, guy friend. She said, "RJ, I never wanted to hurt you, but how were you going to be able to help me get out of that situation?
Right. Right.
How were you going to help me get away from that situation?" And then I found out later from the school that um, Myra's stepdad did not even want her to attend school. He wanted her to stay home and take care of the kids because that's what they do in Mexico. But one of the school counselors had to go out to their house and tell him, by law, she has to be in school in the U.S. She has to be in school. You cannot keep her out of school.
Mm-hmm.
And um, I mean, if I saw her again, I wouldn't hold any hard feelings against her because we were kids, we were young, and she did the only thing that she knew how to do. She tried to tell me what was going on, and my mom said, "RJ, you really should have went to the school when she told you." And my dad said, "Margie, why should you put that guilt on him? Because number one, he really shouldn't have been talking to her because he really didn't know the girl that well." Um, he, and first off, my dad didn't like the fact I was dating a Mexican anyway. And it wasn't, he was like, you're white, you should be dating a white girl. And I'm like, Dad, she's cool, I like her friendship. And now I
Mm-hmm.
kind of understand what he was trying to say because he knew what was coming down the pike. It wasn't that just the fact of, oh, she's a Mexican, she's bad news. There were certain actions that he could see that she was doing that I couldn't. And he didn't like the fact that she would call the house, and when he would answer the phone, there was a guy's voice in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And she would try to tell me it was his cousin or it was her cousin.
There's another guy.
But so, yeah, it was another guy. So, see,
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing. Um, I've had to learn the hard way about people, and it takes a while. It took me almost 2 years to learn about Myra because I'm such a forgiving, trusting person
Mm-hmm.
to a fault, and it's like they're like RJ. I had one of my friends tell me, RJ, you're too damn nice to people. And I'm like, I don't understand. I thought the Bible said you have to be nice. And she says, I understand. But she says, at the same time, you've got to learn to say no. You've got to learn to tell people no.
Right.
And that's the hardest thing for me to do. And I don't think you've ever heard me be this.
Vulnerable.
Yeah. I mean, that's the hardest. That is the hardest thing for me to do is to tell people no. Because
Right.
I don't want to hurt people's feelings. Because I don't think anybody likes to be told no, to be honest. And
Well,
sometimes you have to tell people no. And I'm having
R-
to learn that.
RJ, let me jump in here for a second. That's a beautiful story. And, I don't think people's behavior is typically based on their ethnicity. And I know you understand that now, but back then you didn't. My
Mm-hmm.
father was very similar because
Mm-hmm.
the way things used to be before
Mm-hmm.
we started shifting into a very progressive world. You've heard of the word progressive. We are in
Oh yeah.
a huge progressive shift right now with our
Mm-hmm.
culture, dating and business and all aspects, right? I'm
Yeah.
not progressive. I mean, I do believe in some things progressing, but other things I feel uh, are just insane. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Um, but you were dealing with a woman that lacked integrity, a
Mm-hmm.
woman that is not trustworthy, which has nothing to do with her ethnicity. But I get it.
Well, yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
some. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And I understand now. And I remember my dad telling me, he said, son, he said, and this was before he died. He told me, he said, son, I knew that girl was bad news
Mm-hmm.
because she got around the wrong crowd.
Mm-hmm.
He said, they come over here from Mexico, and he said, now I don't hate all Mexicans. He says, I want you to understand that. But he says, they come over here and they get Americanized and they get around these bad kids and they turn bad. And I knew that's what was happening with her.
Right.
And he said she probably was a good girl in Mexico. But when she came here and got around her, people her age, and even to the school migrant counselor told me the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, she got around these other kids, got Americanized really fast,
Mm-hmm.
started doing things that weren't congruent with how she was raised.
Yeah, but
And
RJ, do you mind if I jump in here for a second?
yeah,
It's
go
more
ahead.
than what you're saying. I get
Uh
a
huh.
lot. I used to think that too, and my
Mhm.
parents used to tell me the same things. It's funny to me how your father and mother told you a lot of the same things growing up as my mother and father told me. And my father, you know, made some comments
Mhm.
about certain ethnicities, not being good
Oh
and stuff.
yeah.
But
Oh
that's not
yeah.
that wasn't the issue. Here's where the issue's at. Plain and
Mhm.
simple. This is where the issue is at. Like I said,
Okay.
we're living in a very progressive world. And it started 55 years ago when women were liberated and got equal rights around that time. Nothing wrong with women having equal rights, and that's all good. The problem is it's changed the biological needs of a woman, meaning that women are not dependent on men for survival anymore. So now they're independent, they're doing their own thing, and they're behaving less feminine, which is what attracts men to women, right? And women are not getting that, right? So if you came
Yeah.
across a woman that, yeah, whether she came from Mexico or whether she came from another country into the U.S., it doesn't really matter where women are anymore. I wish Rick would come on the panel. He could explain this. He's in a different country. I believe he's in Australia, if I remember correctly. But this whole cultural shift of the progressive nature of things nowadays is worldwide. It's a global thing. Women are different nowadays because women are liberated globally, and they're earning their own income. They're buying their own homes, their own cars. And when it comes to men, they can be extremely picky and selective, right? And what has that done to men? A lot of men don't understand this shit, so they feel because women are behaving more masculine now that they have to behave more feminine. So you have 97% of the men in this world that are beta males that are putting these women up on a pedestal and giving these women everything they want and basking in their glory, right? So it empowers women like the one you dealt with to play that game on you and say, okay, RJ's a blind guy. I like hanging out with him. Maybe I'm getting something out of him and his family. But I've got Chad or Tyrone. We refer to the alpha male guy as Chad and Tyrone, right?
Yep.
With the big package below the belt and all that, and the confident guy, right? And Chad or Tyrone is there whispering behind her, waiting for her to get off the phone with you so he can do things to her that she really wants, right?
Oh, yeah.
Riff Magos in the chat says, liberated? You mean brainwashed? Well, yeah, that's your opinion. Riff, you want to come on the panel for a few, bro? Because RJ and I are going to go another 15 minutes, and then we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. But go ahead, RJ.
But no, dude. But here's the thing. And then, when I met Shing from, my friend from church, when he introduced her to me, I didn't get that. She was very, like when I would try to talk to her about American ways or American this or American that, she's like, I'm not interested in that. She's like, I'm not interested in what y'all do in America. I'm only interested in the Philippines.
Okay.
That's it. And that's her thing. She's not interested in, our politics or anything. She's more into her thing. And it's like, okay, I understand where she's coming from. She's more of a, okay, and she even told me, in a couple of days ago, a few weeks ago, I said, be honest, how do you see me, Shing? She goes, I only see you as a friend. I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's all right. Because number one, if I tried to pursue it with her, I know what she would do. She would shut down. So I know, I gauged her and I'm like, okay, she's not a potential mate. She's just a friend. So, okay.
That's not what you want, though. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Let's stop right there for a second. That's not what you really want, right?
Nope.
Let me help you out, okay? You want a relationship with a woman. You want a romantic attraction, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
You know why she doesn't see you in that way, RJ? Because you're approaching her no differently than 97% of all other men that approach her, right? You're being, and it's not about being a good guy and being nice, but you're being way too nice. You're being compliant. You're basically conforming to her wants and needs, and when you do that with a woman, even though it's what they think they want or say they want, it's not what they respond to. They don't respond to the weakness of a man. And I'm not talking about physical weakness. I'm talking about emotional weakness. I'm talking about mental weakness, right? If you approached her differently and didn't pay as much attention to her and let her come to you and occasionally reach out and say, hey, how's it going? Just wanted to see what's going on. You know, did I tell you that you're sexy today? Or something like that. You know, something quick. You know, I got a little bit want to chat sometime or whatever, and then let her go. And that's the thing. Like, if you approach women nowadays in the ways that you could approach them 30, 40, 50 years ago, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Why? Because they're liberated. They don't need you for survival. Back in those days, women were more so willing to settle for the very nice guy as long as he was able to provide financially for her and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I just wanted to throw that in there. But
Well,
go ahead.
and I you know, and I learned that, and I met this other girl named Jennifer, and she
You've been getting
was
around,
like,
haven't you?
yeah, and she and yeah, because there's a group where people, you know,
Because you have hormones.
It's on Facebook, of course, but I, you know, was talking to her on Messenger and everything, and she's like, well, I'm going to be honest with you. I want a relationship. I'm like, okay. And she says, now, what I want, you know, what I want from you is, I want you to buy me a tourist visa so I can come to the United States for 6 months and then we get married. And I said, not happening. I said,
Scammer.
nope. I said,
Scammer,
not happening. Yep. I said, not happening. She goes, why? My cousin did it. I says, well, I'm not that guy. I said, for one thing, you're trying to skirt around our laws. Our laws don't even allow that. And I said, for second, I might be blind, but I was not born last night. And oh my God, she goes, oh, well, I block you. And I'm like, go ahead, bitch.
Well, RJ, here's the thing. Let me jump in here for a second.
Yep.
So this is the thing. Nowadays, like I said, it's different. You cannot approach a woman saying, I want a relationship. That's not the way it works, right?
No,
because
no. She was telling me she wanted a relationship.
Okay. Well, that's a red flag too, because here's the thing. If a woman is really attracted to you and you're attracted to her and you want to get to know each other, it should be just for getting to know each other. Give me a second here. Okay. It should just be just for getting to know each other and for the reasons of being attracted to each other, right? You go on a date. If there's chemistry, you go on a second date, right? By the second or third date, if you two haven't been intimate, it's not going to work. A lot of people say, oh, that's too soon for intimacy. No, it's not. It's not. That's just the way things are nowadays. If a woman is into a man, she's going to want to be intimate with that man at least as much as the man wants it, if not more. And if it doesn't happen, then there's no real chemistry. There's no high level of attraction. And attraction is a must, not a choice, right?
So,
Now,
like when you approach a woman, Eli, like, do you say, "Oh, hey, my name's Elias Melas. I'm blah blah blah." You know, I mean, how do you do it?
Well, it's all done through online dating nowadays. I have a profile stating what I want and don't want, so they already know what I'm seeking and not seeking before they respond to one of my messages or message me on their own, right? If they send me a message, it's basically either going to be one of two things. It's going to be, I'm not interested, which I put in my profile. Please don't respond if you're not interested. But some women just feel the need to respond and say they're not interested, even though it's in my profile, no need to respond, right? Because it's pointless, right? But I get that. Some
Yeah.
women are still a little old school in that way. They want to politely decline. I get it. I let it go, right? But if a woman does not say that and starts engaging me, right, and is not saying that they're not interested, that means they're interested to a certain degree. And I'm going to ask a few questions to see what level of interest they have, right? And so,
Right.
I'll just basically say, hey, it's a great pleasure to meet you. I would love to get to know you better. How about we talk on the phone and see how it goes? I test them immediately, so I don't have time to waste. I try to get them to the phone as quickly as possible. If they give me their phone number and then we talk on the phone that night or the next day, then I know they're interested. If it doesn't happen, if they say, well, I'm gonna give my number out right away, or if they give the number and then they're not able to make a phone call for a day or two, it means they're not that interested. If a woman is really super interested in you completely, she'll drop everything and find a way. Here's my number. Call me now if you'd like, right?
Oh yeah.
So you as the man, all you have to do is open up that door and say, hey, I'd love to get to know you better. Would you like to send me your number and I'll text you to arrange a call? We can maybe talk later tonight. That's it, right? Then you have a conversation and see how you can converse if you have that conversation, right? If that feels right, then you try to meet as soon as possible within the next day or two, or at least within that week. Because if you wait too long, nowadays, things happen so fast. Women have so many options, and so do men, but more so women, that boom. If it doesn't happen, boom, 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 it's just not going to happen, right? And as far as the relationship goes, RJ, let's talk about this, and then we'll do final thoughts and get on out of here, and then we'll prepare for your show tomorrow. If you start to date the woman, right? Okay. And things are going well. You're seeing each other on the weekends. You're going hiking. You're going to dinners. You're doing stuff like that, right? And let's say it goes on for 2 or 3 months. Typically by the 2.5 to 3 month point, if the woman's still seeing you, the intimacy's great, the conversation's great, you're having a good time, there's no argument, there aren't any arguments, it feels cool. Typically at that point, the woman will come to you as the guy and say this. Hey, where do you see this going? Or how do you feel about me, right? And what they're trying to do is at that point, they're trying to lock you down in the relationship. It's not the man's job nowadays to lock the woman down. Back in the days, it was kind of, it was partially the man's job, but still primarily the woman's job because they were dependent for survival on a man. But even in today's day and age, the same principles still apply. It's primarily the woman's job, or it's the entire job of the woman to bring up the relationship. Your job as a man, like my good buddy, well, he's not actually a buddy, but I call him a buddy. I love his content. Like Coach Corey Wayne says, your job as a man are the 3 H's: hang out, have fun, and hook up. Lather, rinse, repeat. Hang out, have fun, and hook up. And show her a good time. And if she continues having a good time with you, she's never going to want to end it. She's going to try to lock you down. And at that point, when she says, hey, how do you feel about me, or where do you see this going? Then you say, well, I like the way things are going. Let's just keep it going the way it is. Well, do you want to take things to the next level? She might say, well, yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying what we had. See, as a man, you don't want to show any weakness, and you don't want the woman to think you're trying to lock her down. If she thinks you're trying to lock her down before she's ready for it, or if it's not her idea, RJ, it's not going to work. Does that make sense to you? Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. I like having this conversation. I think this would be a good topic for tomorrow night. How to get into how to deal with relationships in terms of like meeting a woman. This whole dating thing, because I think it's awesome that we're talking about this.
Right.
And then because I think it'd be a good continuation, on my channel, to talk about this stuff.
Absolutely. RJ, real quick before you share your final thoughts, Rick Magwas in the chat says, so coach, Corey is a mindless PUA, which is pickup artist. Why am I not surprised? Equals smirks. Well, first of all, he's not a pickup artist. He's a coach that teaches men and women male and female relationship dynamics. He's even said it himself, and I wouldn't support him if he was a pickup artist. I don't believe in pickup artists. But here's the thing, Riff. In the modern world of dating, you still, as a man, even a good man like myself, you still have to have some pickup skills to trigger a woman's attraction level and stuff like that. So it's not the pickup artist game that you're thinking. But in order to get any decent woman nowadays as a decent man, you have to know how to pick the woman up. That's just the way it goes. But anyway, it's your opinion. That's mine. RJ, go ahead. Your final thoughts before we get on out of here.
Well, if anyone hasn't subscribed to my channel, subscribe to the real RJ Sandifer.
The real RJ Sandifer.
Night. Yep. Tomorrow night, we are going to continue this discussion on my channel at 8 p.m. Eastern about dating in the modern world. And hopefully Friday at 8 p.m. we'll have Rich on my channel. I will let y'all know, or Eli will let y'all know, either one, because he's a moderator on my channel. So, yeah. So, if y'all haven't subscribed to the real RJ Sandifer, please subscribe. Watch one of my videos, comment on one of my videos, and do what Eli does. Share it out. Share a video out and give her brother some love.
Right.
But yeah, I really think you had a good show tonight, Eli, and I'm proud to have been on here, and I look forward to some great content coming from both our channels, and also Lewis Fuller and Queen Helen Casey and Adelaide. I believe Adelaide has a channel, and I think if we all work together like you've always wanted, I think we can make something happen. I'm pumped up, as you can probably tell.
Oh yeah,
I'm pumped up, and man, I just, but I would appreciate y'all's prayers or positive thoughts for my sister-in-law and her husband. They came down with COVID, so it's
And you also told me behind the scenes that they're not vaccinated, and they're probably they're probably like Queen that doesn't believe in the vaccine, right? Even though it's a real thing that's helpful. But anyway, everybody has their own opinion, but
But anyway, but I also have another. My oldest niece, my sister's oldest child, Ashley, she's 18. She's going to be taking her GED math tomorrow, and we're hoping she passes.
Awesome.
So that she can, get her diploma, and she can start her nursing school. So, that's what I'm hopeful for. I hope she passes it and everything, because just like her, math was my hardest subject. So
yeah,
I mean, so just imagine trying to do graphs and stuff as a blind person in algebra. That was, oh God. Yep.
Yeah, no, I totally get where you're coming from. RJ, real quick before you go, I shared your channel link in the YouTube chat and also the D Live chat and the Facebook chat.
Thank you.
Public
Thank you,
on
brother.
every single one. Is that the real American dream? Let me make sure. Don't ban that person. I think that is the real American dream. Let's see, American Dream 6.0. July 8th, 2021. I don't think that is the real American dream.
Yeah, I'd go ahead and ban that person.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's a troll.
Yep, it is. So, American Dream, you're a channel member on 2 other channels. Well, you can come back in on the American 8 channel.
Mm.
So we're just going to take care of that one. I took care of that one myself. Sorry, Queen. I know that's typically her
I
job on
tell
this
you what,
channel.
Queen had her finger on the button, didn't she?
Well, of
She
course,
had her finger.
but
She had her finger
she
on the button.
she knows American Dream was here earlier, and the American Dream
Yeah.
6.0 channel that actually exists
Mm.
has been around longer than a couple of weeks. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. But RJ, I'm going to let you
Yes,
go. I'm going to
sir.
finish the show for the last 5 minutes on my own. If you want to go hear the last part, I want to thank you for being here, RJ. Tomorrow at what is it going to be 8 o'clock Eastern, RJ, on your
Yes,
channel?
sir. Yes, sir.
The Real RJ Sandifer channel. If you even just search The Real RJ Sandifer, SANDEFUR, or click on the link wherever I shared it across the Coach Eli Television Network. We're going to be live at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and we're going to be discussing male and female relationship dynamics and more about the stuff
Oh
that we
yeah.
talked about here tonight, RJ. Any final thoughts before I put you backstage, RJ, or before you go?
Well, just if y'all haven't gotten vaccinated, I would encourage you, please get vaccinated. Stay safe. God bless. And I'm out.
All right, RJ, thank you so much. All right, that was RJ Sandifer, blind YouTuber, good friend of mine for over 3 years, and I've been really enjoying, um, working with him on many things over the past week and a half since we reconnected. There was a back and forth between other groups and my group that RJ went back and forth with, but it's really nice to see that he appears to have settled in, and I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much again for being here, and I look forward to the show tomorrow. I'm going to tackle a couple things here real quick before I go off the air. Riff Magos, one of the other moderators here, my good Greek buddy from across the seas, or the sea. You really don't want to get into that argument again. Well, I'm not trying to argue you, bro, and I know you're just being you. You're having fun, and I respect you and I appreciate you. I understand your thoughts about dating, and everyone can choose to live their life the way they want to live their life. I don't tell people what to do. I help people get what they want. There are still many people that believe in true love and happiness and like myself. And if you believe in it like myself, there are many things that you have to go through nowadays. There's a lot of red tape to go through just because of the way things are, because of the progressive nature that our society has turned into. It's just, it's crazy. But I love the company of a woman. I enjoy intimacy with a woman. And I don't do the one night stand thing. I enjoy actual romance and intimacy. I enjoy hiking with a woman and having great, intelligent conversations that are emotionally bonding. I love that. That's the way life was meant to be. But I respect what you're saying. Now, one more thing, Queen. Riff says, no, I question consensus reality in all its facets. That's not having fun. Well, that's your opinion, dude. And I mean, yeah, we all have our opinions, and we're all going to live our lives the way we want to live it. And I get that, bro. I totally get it. Well, you were referring to the virus. Okay. Queen, as far as you saying earlier, I'm staying on my side of the YouTube. Look, I can understand you don't have a lot of trust for RJ. I think at some point, this is what I try to help people with. We have to learn to forgive and forget and give people chances when it makes sense to do so. I can't force you or anyone to do anything, but I think finally, in the case of RJ, he's really come around, and we're beginning to create some greatness together and do the things that we wanted to do many years ago. And we would love for you at some point to be a part of it, but if you choose not to, that's okay. You still have a Mod Wrench on his channel, Queen, if you ever change your mind. And Riff, I got to get you a Mod Wrench on RJ's channel as well. But let's see. Riff, again, let's wrap up by saying this. That's your opinion. Code 4, I don't give an F about what you have to say. That's high quality self-awareness right there. I do care about what you say. Riff, I care about what everyone says. Doesn't mean I'm going to agree with everything that everyone says. Okay? Just because I don't agree with what people say, including yourself, sir, doesn't mean I don't care about you or care about what you say. It just means I respectfully disagree. And I know you have a quirky sense of humor, and that's great. That's who you are. And I accept you for who you are. This is all I'm trying to do to help people is that, this is what I do to try to help people in a way where if you can dig deep within yourself, and wrap up with this, you can dig deep within yourself and grab on to, emotional self-control and emotional awareness and be emotionally strong. Nothing is going to faze you, whether you're a man or a woman, right? And you start to see the world in a different way. And if you have a forgiving nature, right, and a forgiving heart, I'm not saying be stupid. Don't forgive people that don't deserve to be forgiven. Like if people are doing bad things to you, that's fine. But if someone reforms and they're working hard to do the right thing, and based on the situation they were in when they were doing the wrong thing, you got to cut people some slack, right? As far as RJ goes, he's a blind YouTuber with Asperger's, a form of autism. He went back and forth with other drama groups on the YouTube platform because of that. It was partially, if not primarily, out of his control. But I think he even now has learned to control that better, right? It took him going through all of this to learn it and figure it out. And all he's trying to do now is say, hey, I'm sorry. Will you forgive me? I'm not proud of what I did, right? He's not even coming out here and making excuses, right? I'm coming out and saying exactly why I respect the guy. Because he's been through a lot, and he was abused as a disabled person, right? But see, I can dig deep within myself and realize that. I just wish other people could learn to see things. I'm not telling you that you have to do it my way. I'm just saying I wish other people would learn to just let things go and just have a forgiving nature and a forgiving heart and be good to people, right? It all starts with loving yourself. I keep going back to that. It starts with loving yourself. And when you love yourself so much, then you have no problem when it comes to forgiving people and giving people chances and not letting stupid, crazy things bother you. I don't let anything bother me anymore. Before I came out on YouTube 4 years ago, I learned in my real life to not let things bother me. But when I came out here on YouTube, I had to learn the YouTube ropes. Initially, things bothered me on YouTube. It's a whole different world out here on the YouTube side of things. But now I learned how to handle that, and it's made me stronger, and nothing bothers me. All I want to do is keep moving forward and helping people that are open to the help, and also working with other creators that want to create greatness together. And that's where I'm going to wrap up this stream today at 1 hour and 19, almost 1 hour and 20 minutes. I want to thank you all for being here. Have yourselves a great one. I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye. Bye.